What is going on, everybody? It's the Frogs, and we're here for a Smackdown on Fox review for tonight's episode of Fox, February 28, 2020. This is the day after that disaster known as Super Letdown, Super whatever you want to call it. As you can see, we have a layout update. We have the Intercontinental Champion on here, and not the Universal Champion, because I am not putting trash on my layout. I'm not putting a selfish, self-centered piece of shit on my layout. Fuck that piece of shit, not my champion. And here's the thing. We come into this wondering what's going to happen to the two men in that match. How are they going to set up the two matches that we know are going to be happening? Well, and what's going on with the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view going into this show, and with not this Sunday, but next Sunday being the Elimination Chamber, we had one match. The Women's Elimination Chamber, for the winner going to WrestleMania to face the Raw Women's Champion. That is it. That is it. We did get a couple matches for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view on this show. But my God, WWE just loves to piss everybody off. Out comes the piece of trash known as the Universal Champion, whose name I will not be mentioning because he doesn't deserve his name to be shouted. And it is a mixed reaction, mostly boos, some cheers, people chanting his name. Here's the thing. To each and every one of you in the crowd cheering this garbage, chanting this person's name, you are part of the fucking problem. You enable Vince McMahon to go, well, the fans love it, so we're going to keep on doing it. How you get WWE to stop doing this? Cheering it does not help. Booing it, I guess, really wouldn't help either. What you need to do when these people come out, you don't say anything. You're silent. You're just there, hands sitting on your hands, not making a sound, having them come out to nothing but funeral music. If they come out to nothing, then that gets it. That sends a bigger message than cheering or booing them. Cole talks about how he beat the Fiend for the title at Super Showdown. Michael Cole decided he wanted to justify this because apparently they put a photo out on Instagram, and it got so many fucking likes. That just shows you how great how shocking this was. Bullshit. Trying to justify this at all is just a load of bullshit. There's no way to justify this at all. The music stops, boos get louder, he grabs the mic and says, do not be mistaken, it's not about who's last, it's about who's next. Out comes Roman to a pop. Reigns takes a minute, then he marches to the ring. Get my mouse to work here. He marches to the ring, he enters the ring, they meet in the middle of the ring. Reigns says, I'm next, drops the mic, makes his exit, and back the music starts. He paces the ring. Cole and Graves wonder what this match will be like if it happens at WrestleMania 36, overlooking the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which happens, oh, by the way, a week from Sunday. So, Cole and Graves, so that was just a waste of time. Opening segment was a waste of time. The end of the show, by the way, was a waste of time. We'll get to that later. Cole and Graves hate tonight's show, including the return of John Cena. Cole says he will take a look at moments from Cena's career throughout the entire night. Hell, it felt like John Cena was going to be fucking retiring tonight. How many times do you have somebody's, we look back on somebody's career and expect them to do anything else in this? I mean, yeah, they did this Edge because he was making his triumphant return. It was supposed to, and we figured would be having and they built it up as if he was going to be there for the long run without missing any nights. This just felt like they were saying this is going to be Cena's last night. The first one was on his debut, and then we go to commercial back break, and Bayley is out, gets a jobber's entrance. Way to go. That's the way to treat your women's champion. She goes up, and here comes, in a non-title match, a rematch from last night, from yesterday's title offense in Super Letdown. Cole says a win-win may be closer to another title shot. Bayley takes the mic after the bell hits and says, this is ridiculous. I should not have to be here tonight, especially in front of these idiots. I've already made history last night when I beat you, but I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I introduce I'm here for a future Grammy winning artist who is better than Beyonce or Cardi B, the one and only Sasha Banks, who is coming out to a hometown pop as her music hits. Yes, John Cena is not the only one from this area. Sasha Banks is as well. Bayley takes advantage of the distraction and attacks Naomi to get things going. Banks watches from ringside. Naomi comes back with a kick to the face and a drop kick. Bayley counters going into the corner, but Naomi sends her into the turnbuckles. Naomi with a rear view for the 2 count. Banks hits the ring. DQ. Naomi wins by disqualification. So Bayley lost once on this night. After the bell, Naomi gets double teamed for the fans. Boo. Out comes Lacey Evans. She rushes the ring, but Bayley and Banks double team her. Naomi gets involved, and they all continue to brawl. Referee hits the ring to break this up. And I'm starting to tweet out, let me guess, we're going to have a predictable Austin Thug versus Naomi and Evans. And as I'm getting ready to tweet this and hit the enter button, Rich Hamilton comes on the microphone and says, this match will be restarted as a tag team match. The only thing he didn't say was player. What the fuck? This was just a waste of our fucking time. This is segment number 2 that was a waste of time. So we get a tag team match. Doesn't go very long. Bayley tries to grab Evans from the ring, but Naomi comes and kicks her in the face. They tangle for a second. Naomi rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. Not only did Bayley lose by disqualification, she also lost by pinfall to the woman she beat the night before. This is typical WWE booking. You win your championship matches, you lose non-title matches. This wouldn't be the only champion to lose on this night. This was, again, waste of time. If this leads to Naomi versus Bayley at WrestleMania, I will be fucking disappointed. Sasha Banks is back. The only one we go for at WrestleMania, the only match that is worth anyone's fucking time, is Bayley versus Sasha. Bayley versus Sasha. Bayley versus Sasha. Not Lacey Evans, not Carmella, not Naomi, not Alexa Bliss or Nikki Cross. Bayley versus Sasha. Plain and simple. We see New Day walking backstage to greet the NFL player Josh McDaniels on the New England Patriots, who gives a shit. Then they walk up to Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler for a stare down, as we are going to be having Kofi Kingston versus Robert Roode. But back to John Cena's greatest moments, as it was us seeing him win his first WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21. Who the fuck cares? Kofi Kingston versus Robert Roode. This match, I really didn't care about this match. SOS for a close 2 count. Ziggler put Roode's foot on the bottom rope. Fans boo Ziggler, and Kofi has words with him from the ring. Roode takes advantage for distraction, rolls Kofi up for the 1, 2, 3. Wow. Back-to-back matches with a roll-up. That's just stupid. Robert Roode wins. Roode stands tall, celebrates the exit. Otis is backstage thinking about Mandy Rose and Dolph Ziggler. Tucker comes in and says, sometimes the good guy doesn't get the girl. Sometimes Ziggler gets the girl. Tucker thinks Otis needs to let Mandy go. Tucker says next week they're going to go get Otis back out in front of the WWE Universe. Tucker tries to get Otis tied up, and he looks like it might be working. Renee Young is at ringside with the crew set for the ring up for a contract signing for Shinsuke Nakamura versus Braun Strowman in Elimination Chamber. Why? Why is Nakamura getting a title shot? Why? We go and we get another look at John Cena through the years, and it was his John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 29. One of the worst fucking WrestleMania matches I have ever seen. I'm sorry, no. Yeah, that was the Twice in a Lifetime. That was also a terrible match. The first one was bad, too. Out comes Renee Young mocks us. She plugs next Sunday's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Shinsuke Nakamura is introduced. Out comes Nakamura with Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Out comes Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman. Strowman lays the title over the table and takes a seat. The others are standing, but Nakamura also sits as Renee asks him to sign first. Strowman stands back up as Sami stops everything. He tells Strowman to grab a seat. Strowman actually grabs it and tosses it out of the ring. Sami wants to review the contract first because they all been treated badly and injustices. He says. Sami goes on until Strowman yells at him to shut up. Strowman said everyone is sick and tired of hearing Sami bitch and moan. Strowman doesn't care who's in the contract because at the end of the day he knows he will have to fight these 3 clowns. That's fine. He signs the contract first. Sammy said everyone just heard Strowman say he's willing to fight all three of them. Strowman asked if he's really going to spin it like that. Sammy asked Strowman if he's going to go back on his word, and Sammy adds a rule amendment to the contract, and they all sign. Sammy tells Renee to take this to the notary in the back. Sammy says it's official. This will now be a 3-on-1 handicap match. Strowman stares them down and nods. Sammy says Strowman is going down at the Elimination Chamber. He picks up the table and moves it out of the way. Sammy says at the pay-per-view, nothing happens tonight. Strowman asks Sammy what makes him think he's taking it to the pay-per-view. He's making it to the pay-per-view. He drops Cesaro, Nakamura with big right hands, looks to go for Sammy, but Cesaro and Nakamura attack him, taking it to the corner. Sammy with a low blow kick. They hold Strowman in the corner again as Sammy delivers a haluva kick. Nakamura with the Kinshasa next. Cesaro and Nakamura suplex Strowman in the air as Sammy delivers a haluva kick. And put him through the table. Fans boo as Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Nakamura stand tall before exiting the ring. Blah. I don't fucking care. Then, the announcers confirm Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for WrestleMania 36. Let me get this straight. Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble, earns a title shot at WrestleMania for whomever he wanted. He could have said The Fiend or the Universal Champion. He chose Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns feuds for 15 fucking months, it felt like. Maybe it was 6 months. I don't fucking know. It felt like a year and a half plus or whatever. But Roman Reigns does nothing to earn a title shot. And he's getting a match against Goldberg. Just because he came out and said, I'm next. What have you done, Roman? What have you fucking done? And I hope everybody remembers that awful, awful fucking feud between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. You know where Brock didn't give a shit about the about the WWE Universe. He didn't care. Roman Reigns was the conquering hero because that's what we're getting with with Goldberg and Roman Reigns. Roman's gonna come out as like, I'm full time, he's part time, he doesn't care, I do, I'm here day in and day out. By the time we get to WrestleMania, this is going to have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar heat for both guys. Nobody's gonna give a shit. The only reason I think that they went down this route is because they knew putting 5 other guys in the Elimination Chamber with Roman Reigns would have killed any momentum Roman Reigns could have. Now the question I have is, why last week did you have Sheamus on SmackDown do one of his little backstage spooky promos and mention about going through the Elimination Chamber only to not have the Elimination Chamber for the men? What the fuck was that all about? Plus, why did Lacey Evans last week mention the Elimination Chamber when there's no women Elimination Chamber for the women for SmackDown? What the hell? Bryan versus Curtis Axel. We go to the ring and out comes Bryan as fans chant yes. Back from break and Curtis Axel is also out as the match begins. Gulak is on commentary and he continues to scout Bryan's matches so he can get his pointers. Basically, one thing leads to another. Gulak cheers on. We get a LeBell Lock, Axel taps. That is that. The reason you're seeing guys like Heath Slater, Drew Gulak, and Curtis Axel on SmackDown is simple. Daniel Bryan is friends with each and every one of these guys, and he knows that they're underutilized, and he wants to give them a time to shine. So you got to commend Daniel Bryan for that. Bryan stares at Gulak for a second and hits the corner post. The fans, Bryan leads a yes chant. We look back at John Cena versus AJ Styles from the 2017 Rumble, when we'll know he's going to be here. SmackDown Tag Team Champions Miz and Morrison backstage doing their championship photo shoot. Back from break, and they're out. We get a brief look at how they defeated the New Day at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia last night. Miz asks, what? No, you deserve it chance? Because we sure as hell do deserve it. Miz says they proved the haters wrong and they can choke on their pancakes. They go on bragging about the title win and then call for Miz's music to hit. The referee, they're celebrating. The referee, you see a referee run down. We see him talking to Rich Hamilton. Hamilton announces that the Miz and Morrison's first tag team title defense will be against the New Day, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and the Usos, and that will take place inside the Elimination Chamber. This is the third time we will see Tag Team Elimination Chamber. Last year's was only good when it came down to the final two tag teams. Do you remember what happened the last time a men's tag team elimination chamber happened? It was fucking awful. So goddamn awful. That was back when the New Day were heels. You had Kofi, Biggie, and Woods in the chamber together. So it pretty much made it unfucking fair. Overall, that match sucked. This is going to be fucking terrible. Why is Lucha House Party into this? Oh, that's right. We don't have another tag team that we can throw in there, so we have to throw the Lucha House Party in there. What has Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, the Usos done to deserve a tag team title match? The Elimination Chamber was never built or made for tag team wrestling. It has been built for 6 of the biggest and baddest dudes out there to go into this thing, beat the fuck out of each other until there was one man left standing. This is going to be a terrible match. While the Miz and Morrison are getting pissed off about this, out comes the Usos. So we have a match between the Usos, John Morrison, and the Miz. Not much I can say about this match. WWE is really one of those things that I just like. Have you noticed there was no NXT review on this week's slate of shows on this channel? Because quite honestly, AEW knocked it out of the park, and two, NXT is starting to become a very, very big shell of its former self, and I'm just not enjoying NXT as I used to. And besides, almost nothing happens on I can do a review for NXT and it never gets any hits, so I don't know. Jimmy follows up. Okay, so the only thing that I liked about this was Jimmy was up in the corner and Morrison was up there too. Hits a destroyer out off the turnbuckles. Jay follows that up with a big Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. The Usos win. I like the destroyer part. But the fact that the Usos beat the New Day, beat Morrison and The Miz, I don't know what the fuck to say about this. This is getting ridiculous, man. Just getting fucking ridiculous. One more package for Cena, and then we come back, we go back to the ring, and out he comes. Fans go wild. He takes the mic, says, I came to talk to the arena tonight, but they're talking to me. My heart is beating out of my chest. Ask, what is it? What am I doing here? Well, it's WrestleMania season. I will always be a WWE superstar. This is my home. I'm doing something different this year because I know how hard everyone in the back works. He goes on and says he will always first listen to the biggest WWE superstar, and that is the fan. He says, listen to the fans and hearing them each week, fans chant Cena again. Now, while he's doing this, I want you to listen to how the crowd reacts, how the crowd is on their feet. Yes, he's at home, so if Bayley was a babyface and she was at home in her hometown of San Jose cutting a babyface promo, she would probably get this kind of reaction if she was built right. But John Cena gets these big reactions still, and you don't see a guy like Roman, like Seth Rollins, and the New Day. Half the fucking crowd just seems to not care about the current crop of superstars. It could be anybody. You could be in Charlotte, North Carolina, which I believe is where Cedric Alexander from. He could be out there cutting a babyface promo, and the crowd's not going to fucking care. There are, John Cena is still, of the younger guys, since the Ruthless Aggression era, John Cena is still one of, if not the biggest star to come to grace WWE television, because WWE actually built him up to be a star. And for the first 2 or 3 years after he won that WWE Championship at WrestleMania 21, the fans were behind him. Yes, they were starting to fall off a little bit, but they didn't go completely off until 2008. 2008 was when you really noticed that everybody was against John Cena. But by that time, he was getting a huge reaction, and Vince McMahon was full steam ahead with this guy, and there was no chance in hell they were going to take this guy and just drop him like that. There was just no way in hell. He was too much of a moneymaker for them. And then you have guys like Roman, who they pushed too early, wasn't ready, nobody wanted him. They push Seth Rollins, and when they push him, he gets a big fucking ego and shoots his mouth off online in interviews that pisses everybody off. Then they book him poorly. Then you have guys like The Fiend, who people were invested in, people cared about, people wanted to see hold that championship going into WrestleMania. And what did you do? It would have been one thing had this been 10, 15 years ago, Goldberg could have done a couple more moves, and The Fiend got a lot of offense in, and there was a back and forth, bloody fucking brawl, and Goldberg won on the end. That would have been different. The fact that you had Goldberg go into Saudi Arabia, bury not only The Fiend, but bury the Mandible Claw. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Daniel Bryan, The Miz, all laid down and built that Mandible Claw. Let's see, Braun Strowman, the Mick Foley, Kane, everybody that was on that wall at the Firefly Funhouse made that Mandible Claw look devastating. And then within 2.5 minutes, you made the Mandible Claw look like trash. Because Goldberg is a selfish, self-centered, worthless piece of shit who will never bow down to anybody. He lost to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't need to be established. By the time Brock Lesnar beat him, Brock Lesnar was established. The Undertaker beat him. Because I'm sure a 50-plus-year-old Undertaker needed to be put over by Goldberg. Name me one person since Goldberg has come back who is in the main roster, who was on TV every single week that Goldberg has put over. You can't. The first person he's going to do that to is Roman Reigns. Because again, they do everything for Roman. Everything to get Roman Reigns that shining star moment that they want. I'm telling you right now that even if Roman beats Goldberg, who cares? Goldberg is a 53-year-old piece of garbage. Roman Reigns beating that piece of garbage is like having Marco Stuntz beat Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship and then holding it for a year. Nobody's going to care. It would piss people off. This entire build to WrestleMania went from bad to worse. And now Cena, this pissed me off. He said he's doing something different because he knows, and he talked more about listening to fans and hearing them each week from after Raw, NXT, and SmackDown. He mentions WrestleMania again and says he's doing the right thing this year. Says this year's WrestleMania should go on without him. Keep that in mind. Says he hears them. This is not goodbye, but it's goodbye for now, and it's the right thing to do. Says like us, like you, I believe in the future of the company and respect what talent do every night. WrestleMania spot should be earned, not given, and this year should be go on without him. And he's saying all this, and you start to sound like maybe he's going to be truthful. Maybe this isn't going to happen. Cena knows that makes WrestleMania kind of sour. He understands, but that also makes tonight a bit more special because he's not sure when he'll be back. He wanted to make this special announcement in front of his loved ones, his family, and a place he calls home. And you can hear the emotion coming out of his voice. Looks like he's getting a little teary-eyed. Gets the crying hug up more. Says the chance to be more to him than you will know. Thank you. Drops the mic. Exits the ring. He goes out and greets some fans. Heads to the stage. Turns to salutes. Then the lights go down. The lights come back up. The Fiend is behind him. Cena turns around. Sees the Fiend staring him down. They stare at each other. Fiend points at the sign. John Cena looks back, looks forward, and mind you, this guy, not more than 30 seconds ago, 40 seconds ago, said, WrestleMania should go on without me, and WrestleMania spots should not be given, they should be earned. What does John Cena do? Takes his hat, bows with a look on his face like, you're on, sir. And the fans cheer yes. The lights go back out. We don't see. Then the lights go out. They even hear the Wyatt laugh as SmackDown goes off the air. Who wrote this bullshit? Seriously, who wrote this? Why are you going to have John Cena go out there, the biggest star you have built since the Attitude Era, go out there and tell us, I'm going to miss WrestleMania this year because it's the right thing to do, and not even a minute later say, I lied, I'm a liar, I'm going to go to WrestleMania and face the Fiend and most likely beat the Fiend because you'll get a nice old rub off when I beat you. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? It would have been one thing if, like, during his emotional speech, when he says WrestleMania should go on without me, the lights go down, the lights go back up, and John Cena, the Fiend's behind John Cena, puts him in the mandible claw, the lights do the whatever special thing, and then lights go down, lights go back up, and John Cena's down for the count. They had him do this instead. Have him go out there and basically lie to your face. Lie to each and every one of you. Make it seem like he's really going to miss WrestleMania for the first time in a long time since his injury a couple years ago when he fucked his shoulder up. But actually, no, he was at that WrestleMania. There was a WrestleMania I believe John Cena actually missed due to injury, but yeah, this would be the first time he actually admits that he's not going to be there. No special appearances, no nothing. And then, not even a minute later, just go out there and accept the challenge from the Fiend. You could have done this so much different. If you wanted to get to that match, don't have John Cena accept. Have John Cena just shake his head no and walk away. The Fiend just looking like having that puzzle, like turning his head to the side as if he's puzzled that John Cena turned his request down. Then, next week, you could have Bray Wyatt come out there talking trash about John Cena. The Fiend wants to play with you, John, and just keep doing that. You have this. The next episode of SmackDown is the go-home show to the Elimination Chamber, so not having Cena on there will be fine. And then because you're doing whatever little hype you can get for the Elimination Chamber, but you have Bray Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse talk shit, like reminding us why the Fiend wants John Cena, and then you just have him make attacks. You could do videos of John Cena, like if John Cena's fiance would be in on this, have John Cena's fiance be brought in this by just like having like Bray Wyatt conveniently run into her and make things a little bit creepy, something. They could have did something better than just having John Cena be like, hey guys, I'm not going to be at WrestleMania this year because it's the right thing to do. And then 30 seconds to 40 seconds later, like, haha, fuck you, I lied. I fucking lied. This show was a complete waste of time. But John Cena lied to your face. Hey, John Cena's back. He can sit there and lie to you. And people eat it up. People eat it up. This company is absolutely pathetic. This company will one day cease to exist. And hopefully I'm alive to see it. And hopefully I'm able to sit there on YouTube or whatever I'm doing. Sit there, laugh about it, and just enjoy watching this company crumble. Because this was absolutely pathetic. Roman Reigns getting a Universal Championship shot even though he hasn't earned a damn thing. Just shows you how desperate Vince McMahon wants to get that title back on him. John Cena lying to your face. The Elimination Chamber is not a singles 6-man tag. It's going to be 12 men in there as we have a tag team Elimination Chamber match. I don't know. This company just... Revolution is tomorrow, so I can't wait to see that. See what the hell AEW does to knock this company around some more. I will have tweets going up hopefully throughout the entire thing, and I will be sitting here watching it and then doing a review right after. Before that, of course, I'll be watching games 1 and 2 of the XFL as they will be going on hopefully right before. And then, of course, I will dig me into the pay-per-view. But until then, hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Twitter at The France Club. Find me on twitch.tv/The France Club. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for AEW Revolution. Go check out the end of my AEW on TNT review from Wednesday, where I gave my predictions to Revolution. And I'll see you guys then.